What double standard are you tired of? Your boss getting angry if you're a couple minutes late but then expects you to have no problem regularly staying on 2+ hours after your shift is meant to end. Why is dental insurance different from health insurance? Are teeth part of my overall health? WTH. Eyes too. Politicians being able to openly violate the law and nobody does anything. To borrow from Matt Haig, people being okay with mental illness until someone shows symptoms of one. 100%. People like to talk about being cool with it, act all understanding, and then get super hostile if someone with untreated mental illness shows up. They don't mind it when they can't see it, but can't handle it when they actually see it in action. COVID restrictions applying to regular people but not celebrities or politicians. Consumers are expected to curb the use of their plastic waste and carbon by corporations and regulatory bodies alike, while Nestle will destroy a natural habitat to make bottled water in plastic bottles and dump the waste into your grandma's urn if it's affordable. Celebrities lecturing about climate change when they have the carbon footprint of a small town. Leonardo DiCaprio is particularly despised in Belize because a few years back he visited the Acton Tunich cave, which entailed him flying in with a private helicopter while his bodyguards denied everyone access to the area. All the locals had to wait to resume work for over an hour while he sloshed around with his guards. Entry-level jobs that require experience. They think it weeds out the ones with no experience, but it just gets them candidates who are prepared to exaggerate or lie. My manager at work not paying for her drinks but not allowing staff to even get staff discount for theirs. If that's just a manager and not the owner, I bet the owner would like to hear about it. And if it is the owner, that's fine to me. Parenting double standards. The gender of the parent does not make the parent. Dads are not babysitting their children. They are parenting. This. Also, I've had to fight this in the kindergarten my child goes to, because all information, news, calls go only to my wife's phone. Even though for past years I've been the one who has brought and picked up the kid every day. Wife is working long days, but I'm remotely. Customers being able to verbally and sometimes physically assault workers while the worker just has to stand there and take it or they'll be fired. One time at a local grocery store, a clerk straight up told a shouty guy to fuck off. Saw the same clerk a week later. Was pretty impressed. Apparently, politicians are allowed to disrespect the citizens of the country they serve, but it's frowned upon to tell a politician to go fuck yourself to their face. Respect is respect. No matter if it wears a suit or what language it uses. Exactly. They can screw over millions of people and make actions that led to people's deaths. But if we insult them out of righteous anger and frustration, we're the bad guys? My principal taking days to read and reply to my emails, if ever. Versus me being told at 8 in the morning that I should have known something because he sent me an email at 10 in the evening the night before. Reminds me of a power-tripping boss. They know they're being unreasonable. They just enjoy the power trip they get by making you feel like you're incompetent. Don't let it bother you too much. It's just an evil little mind game narcissists love to play. After swim practice when I was 11, my friends pushed me out of the shower room and held the door closed when a bunch of older ladies were getting together for water aerobics. One of them was my teacher. They laughed and I just stood there naked pushing on a door. Nobody got in trouble. If they pushed a girl naked out of the locker room and held the door, it'd be on the news. Things happen to me in locker rooms and I got in trouble for speaking about it. Me, a non-smoker, being told off for being 5 minutes late to work, while smokers spend 30 minutes at least a day on smoke breaks. I just wander off and have a cup of tea every time the smokers head off on a break. My boss did comment. So I told him I was addicted to caffeine. So had to. He didn't have an answer to that. Basic laws not applying to people with money or power. I thought the US was based on an idea that nobody was above the law. Punished by a fine is legal for a price. And that's if they even get fined. People that say don't worry about what other people think. Be yourself but make judgments about people based on behavior they don't understand. If you don't understand something, ask about it. Learn about it. Talk about it to gain an understanding. I wish more value was placed on learning understanding people's intentions versus what you see on the surface. And don't say things unless you really mean them. What double standard am I not tired of? Edit. Thanks for the upvotes. Guess I'm not the only one. Grinning face with smiling eyes and sweat drop. I'm broke, fuck you, get a job. I'm 22 million in debt, but it's okay. The fuck? Edit. Suddenly everyone on Reddit is an economist. I once heard this. Owe the bank $10. 000. Then you have a problem. Owe the bank $10. 000. 000. Then the bank has a problem. Star student athletes are nearly untouchable. If they make the school look good, the school will almost never take action against them. As evidenced by the fact that at my college, several of the football stars would literally just park wherever they wanted and never get towed ticketed. I'm not talking about things like parking in the faculty lot, or where you don't have a pass. I'm talking things like parking on the sidewalk in front of the student union, after driving over a curb and 20 feet of grass to get there. Defending yourself. The fact that someone can be punished for defending themselves when no one else would, in my experience worse, is bullshit to me. Example: a former bullied kid that punched back and got screwed. Deleted. When my wife started at her company way back in 2009, there was this guy in her group who was the de facto golden child. Charming, charismatic, friendly, a go-getter, etc. Fast forward to 2012, the guy had made a ton of friends in all the right places and was essentially a made man within her company. Anytime his name was mentioned, praise and accolades followed. And then he put in his 2 weeks notice to work for a private company in our area. When he left and people began actually analyzing and reviewing his work, they learned the guy was a complete fuck up. Mistakes on documentation, egregiously erroneous processes and written sops. The works. They have no idea how he was able to keep the shtick up so long without anything of value breaking. Struggled with social interactions growing up. Half of my life was people telling me not to take things so personally. The other half was being told to conduct myself a certain way so I don't upset people. The old just be yourself. Okay, not like that. My dog can shit in the backyard all he wants. But I do it one time and my wife loses her mind. Pretty much everything about celebrities. That stupid Cinderella flash mob where they blocked la traffic was the kind of thing they only got away with because they're celebrities. Edit. Apparently the flash mob was only during red lights. So, my mistake. I only saw the one video and it was enough to piss me off. Partially because I hate driving and would already be in a bad mood in that situation. Partially because, well, I mean, you saw it. That's really just James Corden being an asshole. As usual. He definitely got permits and everything. Also James Corden advocating for paying late night writers less money. Just a shitty person. A lot of celebrities don't even live in LA anymore anyway. Lot of people live in Atlanta, the biggest filming spot now. Or NYC. They're spreading around more due to the internet partially. I have to be exactly on time for an appointment or risk a fine and no appointment. Yet a doctor can make you wait hours sometimes without even a thank you for waiting or sorry about the wait. Especially when you are the first damn appointment of the day. Some people I know who are strongly against gender norms told me that I shouldn't have a say in my wedding since I'm a man, and that my fiancé alone makes the decisions. It was pretty FNG confusing. This hurts me so much that people are like this. People assume my fiancé isn't helping at all with planning our upcoming wedding since he's the dude and I'm the chick and I'm obviously the one choosing everything and bossing him around according to them. He's been a part of every single thing so far except the flowers. I asked him about what he thought on florists and he just looked at me and went, I love you and I love planning this thing with you. But I couldn't possibly care less about flowers lol, but he's just as excited as I am with everything and it breaks my heart when no one gives him credit or thinks he shouldn't have a say. Anything where is the epitome of George Orwell's rules for thee but not for me. E.g. COVID restrictions but not for politicians. Bosses not following their own rules. Police getting away with bending certain laws. Etc. Rules for thee but not for me as it applies to every facet of us politics. From insider trading. To nepotism. To tax dodging. And beyond. I am so done with the ruling class. Politicians who come up with dumb to asinine laws, and vigorously enforce them upon all of the regular citizens, but somehow find ways to exempt themselves from being subject to the same obligations to keep and follow them. as we are. I'm a teacher and called my wife smoking hot at a football game. My principal reprimanded me for it. I told the principal my wife calls me her smoking hot hubby to her class sometimes. She said it's different because it's perceived different when a girl says it. I've noticed that a lot. Objectifying men and sexualizing adolescent boys is seen as completely normal and fine. When companies say they are family friendly but don't want you to work from home or help with child care. Corporations can take advantage of employees. But employees can't take advantage of corporations. The asymmetry of power drives me nuts. We can get fired at any moment. But are expected to give a 2 weeks notice. They worry about clock theft but want us to just dismiss those 15 minutes after the clock. Every day. No lunch break sect. Billionaires calling poor people lazy. The Tinder attitude of impress me. And I have standards. Be funny. Don't be boring. Meanwhile person is boring. Entertain me. Sorry. I haven't graduated from clown college yet. I am guilty of this one myself. I hate YouTube ads to death. But I am still watching the videos using their platform. And I am not willing to pay $10 a month. And I understand they need to somehow get compensated for all the work. Edit. I got adblock on my browser. But I wasn't able to figure it out on my Android. A lot of you recommended YouTube Vanced. So I am going to check that out. If it works you guys probably saved me a couple of wasted days. Edit 2. Got Vanced set up and I am living like a demigod over here. Shout out to all the guys suggesting it. The time for the golden era has come. The one that kills me is Hulu. I'm paying a monthly subscription fee and I have to sit through ads. Nope. I refuse to watch it. But others in my household insist. So I pay for that stupid subscription and they watch it. But I refuse. I know that it makes no difference to Hulu. But if we're sitting down for family movie night or something, I refuse to watch anything on the Hulu platform. I hate them so much for putting ads on a subscription service. Accountability for rich people versus everyone else. My sister was allowed to abuse me from the time I was in kindergarten until I moved out of the house. She could basically say or do anything she wanted, but if I called her even a bitch, I was in serious trouble. I finally cut contact with her and told my parents exactly what led up to this. The double standard of allowing the sibling who was 6 years older to abuse the youngest kid who was also bullied at school. They always got angry at the bullies but never my sister. She would always talk so big, but the moment you even threatened putting a hand on her, she would scream and ball up and it would be all our fault. God, I hate the fucking piece of shit and I hope the next time I see her is at her funeral. Perfect example of why you can't hate family is completely stupid. Men not being allowed to be feminine without being labeled as gay. I am gay. And the amount of times friends, family, and co-workers will point at a man being mildly effeminate and whisper I think he plays for your team is nauseating. Like, dude. He's literally married to a woman and has kids. Just because he talks in a slightly higher pitch does not mean he wants the D. The way some people act like men are completely incapable of taking care of children. Or somebody's babysitting today. No Karen. It's called being a father. Body counts. It's ridiculous and horrible. If a woman sleeps with 100 guys she's a slut. But if a guy does it, he's gay. I have to wear my mask 8 hours a day. But customers can do what they want. Or they complain about how difficult it is to be suffocated for their 30-minute shopping experience. Like, bitch, shut up, I'm practically working out with this thing on. My boss dipping out on a Thursday afternoon to go get fucked up at the golf course. But I ask for one Friday off every few months and he's like, come on man, I need you to be a team player. Politicians can do whatever the fuck they want. Insider trading. Money laundering. Rape. Murder. The list is endless. Name the last pose politician to go to jail. And stay in jail I mean not one that got some BS pardon. I'll wait. I'm a girl but I am tired of people treating dads as less than moms. Dads can be 100% better than moms but no one will care because no mother would hurt their kids. Authority figures. Whether bosses or managers or cops. Who hold you to the strictest word of law. But they do whatever they want. Had a manager today come in at 8 when he hammered that everyone has to be in by 6:30. By fire or thunder. Not really sick of it as I'm the dad, but if I bring my kid to school with messy hair or something, all the teachers are like, oh look at the dad, he's so cute. He even tried to do a ponytail and failed. My wife brings the kids to school a mess and they like, look at this lazy ass mom. When jobs say they like to develop and promote internally then hire externally and wonder why you aren't happy. Men not being able to open up about their mental health. I do anything with my young kids without my wife present and I almost always hear, "What a good dad." Escape from an abusive partner and people congratulate you. Escape from an abusive parent who made your life hell for years and it's all. You should forgive them. What did you do to deserve that? But they're your mum. Tell stories of what they've done to you as an abusive partner and people are sympathetic. Then tell them it was your mum and suddenly it's your fault all over again, or I should just forgive them. I don't see why I should have to keep putting myself into a bad situation because that person happens to share the same blood as me. I'm not in contact with any relatives. I'm someone who has only dated men. And in every relationship I've had my partner has told me, 1. They've never really received so much casual affection before. And 2. It's amazing, please keep doing it. Scratch his beard, tell him he looks nice, smooch his forehead, damn it, men deserve affection and tenderness too. This my wife is always complimenting me and showing me affection. Men need that shit just as much, if not more so. Once we get to a certain age we're thrown to the fucking wolves and the masculine world is red in tooth and claw. Other than mothers, partners are usually the only tenderness, affection, and emotional support men get in life. And getting into a fight in a Harvard bar, defending the honor of a girl, before going back to work as a custodian, admit, how do you like them apples? People not being allowed to record conversations that they are a part of, yet that's the only way to prove what was said. If you aren't by yourself, it's not private. It just enables corruption. Maybe it's just me, but I've noticed that women are expected to be way more positive all the time. If I don't accept food I did not order, make even a mildly deprecating joke, or have a neutral face that isn't, slightly smiling face, I'm branded as being negative. Just because I'm not a ball of ultraviolet sunshine doesn't mean I'm severely depressed. Holy Christ. Anything about dads hanging out with their own goddamn kids. Schools punishing everyone for something one person did instead of finding the perpetrator. Doctor's offices charging you a fee if you're 10-15 minutes late for an apt, or a fee when you cancel your apt within 24 hours, but you show up for your apt and literally wait anywhere from 15 minutes to 5 hours to be seen and no one says a damn thing about you waiting excessively long. This just happened to me. Waited and 5 hours for a wellness apt. Give me a f-king break. Political leaders can waste billions of taxpayer money. Nothing happens. God forbid I don't report a $600 transaction to the eyes. Caste system in India. My grandma was on Facebook and laughing at this video. She decided to show me and it was this woman exercising. She was running around, rubbing herself on men in public and stretching in front of them. My grandma said it was funny. I commented on how it was disgusting as these men looked super uncomfortable. Whether it was staged or not I don't know. But if it were a man doing this to women he would be charged with sexual assault and the comments would say how disgusting it was. My grandma even agreed that if it was a man doing it then it would be disgusting. Ultra-rich people getting to play fast and loose with paying their taxes, or lack thereof, through various loopholes. Yet I get harassed for being a few dollars off and hardly get any credits or breaks whatsoever. Girls being plus size but guys being overweight. Completely exhausted of websites stealing the answers to AskReddit and then making them ad-filled articles. Politicians openly getting away with crimes while us citizens get thrown in jail and or heavily fined.